I'm Ray Sullivan, and today I will tell you my amazing and somewhat scary story. My name. It may not sound familiar, but throughout my life I have been known as the Lightning Man. Because? Well, let me tell you. I was born on February 7, 1912 in Greene County, Virginia, in the United States. From a very young age I always had a special connection with nature and a love for forests and mountains. It was that connection that led me to work as a ranger in the national park, being UE where I spent much of my life. My story of being struck by lightning began in 1942 while I was doing my job as a game warden. That day, a thunderstorm suddenly erupted over me. I took refuge under a tree, but suddenly lightning struck the tree and electricity spread to my body. It was a scary moment, but luckily I survived. From that day my life changed forever. I began to experience a series of incredible encounters with lightning. It seemed that it attracted them somehow. Over the years I was struck by lightning on 7 different occasions. Yes, 7 times. Incredible. True, every time I was struck by lightning, the effects on my body were diverse. I suffered severe burns, hair loss, nerve damage, and hearing problems. Despite everything, I never let those incidents stop me in my passion for life and nature. My second encounter with lightning occurred in 1969, while I was driving my truck on a highway. Lightning struck the vehicle directly, hitting me and burning my eyebrow and eyelashes. It was a terrifying experience, but I survived once again. In 1970, during another encounter with lightning, he suffered shoulder and ankle injuries, and in 1972 he was struck a third time while working at an observation post. This incident caused burns on the top of my head. In 1973 I was hit by fourth once while on my patrol. This time the lightning left wounds on my chest and stomach. My fifth encounter occurred in 1976, when I was struck while fishing. I survived burns on the chest, stomach and legs. My sixth encounter with lightning occurred in 1977, when I was back on my patrol. This time the lightning struck me, leaving burns on my head and shoulders. The seventh and last meeting occurred in 1979, while he was in a camp. I survived burns to my chest and legs. With each encounter my fame as the Lightning Man. And it grew. I became something of a living legend. A man who defied the odds time and time again. People began to wonder if he had some kind of supernatural connection to lightning or if he was just incredibly unlucky. As my story spread, scientists and doctors interested in studying my case began to arrive. I was closely examined to try to understand why he was so prone to being struck by lightning and, above all, how he had managed to survive each of those strikes. Although the experts were never able to find a definitive explanation, they did realize that there were a few factors that could have contributed to my curse. On the one hand, I worked in a mountainous and forested area where thunderstorms were frequent. In addition, it was discovered that my height and the nature of my work outdoors may have increased my exposure to danger. But beyond the scientific explanations, many began to see me as a symbol of resistance and survival. My story became an inspiration to those who had faced adversity in their own lives.